It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Inu Safo.
And I am Caleb Kuda.
Coming up, West African military chiefs meeting in Ghana over Niger coup underway.
We say no to military intervention. That is the issue. And the fundamental issue is that ECOWAS is protecting its protocols.
Also coming up, death toll in Northeast region floods rises to 6. Still ahead in the bulletin, minority in parliament gives Bank of Ghana 7-day ultimatum to provide details on its new headquarters.
So there's no information there that they don't have that they need to now go and look for. So, within the twinkle of an eye, they should have all that information. Otherwise, then they must be the most incompetent institution.
And later, top 10 finalists of Citi FM and Citi TV's Literacy Challenge announced.
You look at the top 10, highest in the aptitude test, 89%. And then the 10th person had 75%. So very tight, very competitive.
All that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is live on our partner stations in the Western region. You're listening to us on Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. If you're in Sunyai in the Bunu region, you're listening to us on Greener 95.9 FM. If you're in Kumasi, then you're listening to us on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM. In the Volta region, we're live on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu. In the Northern region, Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East, we're live on Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga. And in the Upper West, we're live on Tonsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jurapa 96.1 FM. The news is also live across the globe on citinewsroom.com, Citi 97.3 FM on Facebook, and CityTube on YouTube.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for staying with us. The details of our stories. The ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abdel Fattah Musa, says the calls for the revocation of ECOWAS's decision to act against Niger lack valid justification. Speaking at the extraordinary meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff held in Accra, Ambassador Musa emphasized that the standby forces response will be necessary if ongoing diplomatic negotiations prove ineffective. He reiterated the commitment of ECOWAS to utilize all available strategies to restore democratic governance in Niger.
There are people in the race who are saying we should not intervene. And that it is because of insecurity, because of bad governance, because of order. I wish to inform the community in West Africa that the entire world is suffering from the aftermath of COVID-19. What is happening in Ukraine today is having a very devastating impact on livelihood throughout the world. I was in the UK just about a week ago. Shelves were empty, gas prices were skyrocketing, and you can see that for almost all the European countries and all the other African countries. So if because of these difficulties we have to stay cool, then the whole world will be plagued, by unconstitutional changes of government. We say no to military intervention. That is the issue. And the fundamental issue is that ECOWAS is protecting its protocols. ECOWAS is protecting its protocols.
Ambassador Musa also revealed that ECOWAS possesses ample resources to fight the Niger junta to return the country back to democratic governance.
Guided by France, it is being guided by anybody. But what they forget is that ECOWAS is a rules-based organization. We have our protocol, we have our norms, and we are ready to protect them. That's why the heads of state are saying, if push comes to shove, we are going into Niger with our own contingent owned equipment. We are going with our own resources and to make sure that we restore constitutional order. If other democracy-loving partners want to support us, they are welcome. But we are not going begging, cap in hand, before we do what is right for the region.
Abdel Fattah Musa is the ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security. Meanwhile, Minister for Defense Dominic Nitiwul has urged the various chiefs of defense staff to remain loyal to their respective heads of state in order to prevent the occurrence of coups and its associated challenges.
If presidential guard is given and reject, I will use the word take hostage their president. Nobody, and let me repeat, nobody in West Africa is safe. That is why I urge you to continue to be loyal to your heads of state. I urge you to continue to be loyal to ECOWAS directly and to give effect that the days that who depart and get the support of our people are over. Yes, in democracy, people will agree to disagree. That the vast majority of our people in West Africa are with you. The vast majority of our people in West Africa do not want to be under the difficulties that we are facing today. You have the right, as many uniforms, to ask the government for what you will need to be able to defend your nation. You have the right to ask the government to give you the tools of your nation to ensure that your nation remains peaceful. You have the right to ensure that your people choose your leaders in a free and fair manner.
We apologize for the poor quality and sound, but that was the Minister for Defense, Dominic Nitiwul.
Now, the death toll from heavy rainfall in the northeast region has risen to 6 individuals. The heavy rains have caused extensive damage to both lives and properties, resulting in flooding homes and farmlands. Authorities are grappling with the aftermath of the disaster, with the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, mobilizing its officers to assist in the affected communities. The Northeast Regional Director of NADMO, John Al-Hassan, confirmed the increased death toll and the organization's response efforts in an interview with Citi News.
I've just picked a report from my municipal director. There's one death that has occurred. Sometimes when we pick the report, we have to make some follow-ups to confirm. I'm told it happened within the East Mambusi municipality in a community called Latare. So I've just dispatched some men from my office to go and then confirm that. Most of the areas too still are inaccessible. And as for what the disaster has left behind is just the destruction, the farmlands that are submerged in water, and the people that are displaced. So not more. What we are doing now is we have done the need assessment in some of the communities, and we are giving them relief items just to put some smiles on their face. But like I've been saying, government can't. What government is giving cannot do for the people. If you look at the quantum of farmlands that are destroyed and the properties that are washed away. And even portions of the road too have washed away. So economic activities in most of the villages too is being disrupted. So we are calling for support from other donor partners and then philanthropic individuals. If they can also come support this, that will be fine.
He also reviewed that so far over 4,000 persons have been displaced by the flooding.
We have been able to do assessment in 66 communities across the region. We have some figures, but we just needed to take our time to do to complete with the assessment so that we'll be able to tell the exact number of people who are affected in terms of the farmland, in terms of the houses that are collapsed, in terms of those that are displaced. But I can tell you that those who are displaced, about 4,000. What we have the figure that we have now, 4,400 to 600. For medical supplies, this zip line in Walawale, they have been helping to send medical supplies to communities that are cut off. As for that one, they are helping in that direction.
That was the Northeast Regional Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, John Al-Hassan.
The Executive Director of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amwa has advised the government to stock up fuel when prices on the global market decreases. This follows an increase in the prices of petroleum products which took effect yesterday. Duncan Amwa argues that the gold for oil policy will continuously have no direct impact at the pump if the government does not stock up.
The Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited BOST has revealed that the company's net profit for the year 2022 has witnessed a growth of 112%. This substantial increase translates to a net profit of over 342 million Ghana cedis as compared to the 161 million Ghana cedis recorded in the previous year, 2021. The board chair of BOST, Eko Hackman, announced this positive trading performance, highlighting the remarkable financial progress made by the company.
The downstream oil sector in Ghana also experienced a contraction, with consumption of petroleum products falling by 8.7% according to the NPA. Honourable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, these challenges notwithstanding, I'm pleased to announce once again that BOST achieved a net profit after tax 342,494,604 Ghana cedis compared to 160,718,361 Ghana cedis in the previous year. BOST's operating income also increased by 69% from 254 million in 2021 to 428 million in 2022. This was on the back of a 77% increase in revenue from 1.12 billion Ghana cedis in 2021 to 3.1 billion Ghana cedis in 2022.
Eko Hackman is board chair of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited.
Let's return to our earlier story where the executive director of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amwa, has advised the government to stock up fuel when prices on the global market decreases. He says this follows an increase in the prices of petroleum products which took effect yesterday. Duncan Amwa argues that the gold for oil policy will continuously have no direct impact at the pump if the government does not stock up.
Stock up when prices are favorable on the international market and release those products when international markets turn bullish, where prices only continue to increase by the day. We say this advisedly, like I indicated. Just a few weeks ago, international markets were doing $700, $720 a metric. As we speak, it's about $940, $960. A difference of over 200 USD per metric. If we had stocked up around the time, this would have been the perfect time for BOST.
Duncan Amwa is the executive secretary of COPEC.
The Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Pempe, has assured of government support in reviving the Tema oil refinery to boost the downstream petroleum production. According to the sector minister, any positive gains recorded by the state refinery will cushion government in its operations. Speaking at the second annual general meeting of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Limited Company in Accra, Dr. Opoku-Pempe further noted the gains of government's good for oil policy in ensuring that the country has constant supply for oil.
Which seeks to provide fuel to Ghanaians at competitive prices by reducing our dependence on forex for import of petroleum products. This statement might not be construed that we don't use forex to import. We still use forex to import, but we are not at the neck of the Bank of Ghana to be providing at least $400 billion for our fuel bill. And it is instructive that those of us who are sat around the table and this goes for it. One of our most difficult stakeholders recently, less than a month ago, was praising this cabinet policy. That is Bank of Ghana. They've been urged on by everybody around the world to stop dropping or stop or drop the gold for oil policy. They have stood resolute and they've seen the benefits to even them, apart from what the Ghanaian ultimately has seen the benefit. If petrol prices have come down from 23 cities to still less than 30, it's for the effort of BOST.
Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Pempe.
The minority in Parliament has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Bank of Ghana to provide information regarding the cost and details of its new headquarters construction in Accra. The minority chief whip governs Abuja, along with Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Ayariga, signed a letter invoking the Right to Information Act Section 18, Act 989, to request this information. The minority is seeking various details, including the procurement process for the land, names of consultants and project managers, financing arrangement, cost, scope of work, bill of quantities, and contract start and completion dates of the new headquarters building. Mahama Ayariga, in an interview with City News, elaborated on the reasons behind this demand.
All the issues in the letter, they are supposed to provide the information. If the information is already there, and the information must be there, they must be holding the information because they've completed the procurement. That's why they're actually doing the construction. And they've employed consultants and project managers. They must be outside working now, so they know who they are. And the prices, they have it. Otherwise, the contractor will not have moved to site. So there's no information there that they don't have, that they need to now go and look for. So, within the twinkle of an eye, they should have all that information. Otherwise, then they must be the most incompetent institution. In fact, they could even provide that today if they want. In fact, the reason why we're asking them these questions is because one of you asked them a question and the Director of Finance refused to give the information. Otherwise, we would not have even been interested. It's because a journalist asked them and they refused to give the information. Then we say, but this is basic information. How can a journalist ask you this question and you refuse to provide the information? So we said, no. It can't happen that way. You cannot refuse to answer this question when a journalist asks. We'll go through the official mechanism for extracting the information from you.
Mahama Ayariga is Member of Parliament for Boko Central.
The Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council has expressed its disappointment over the concerns raised by the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer, regarding the potential passage of the anti-LGBTQI bill into law. The Christian body stated that while Ghana is an inclusive society, there are limits to what can be accommodated within the community. Virginia Palmer had expressed worry that the passage of the anti-LGBTQI bill might send unfavorable signals to American investors. She urged caution in the government and parliament's approach to the bill. In response, General Secretary of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, Apostle Emmanuel Ni Okule Tete, says Western countries must respect Ghana's cultural norms and values.
You see, we recognize that every country has its own value systems, and they vary from country to country. Ghana, for that matter, has its own cultural values. And there are things our cultural values cannot accommodate, just as there are things the American value systems do not accommodate. And so we implore especially the Western countries, who, because of their cultural value systems, have accepted these LGBTQI practices and, lifestyles. And we are not fighting them on that. But we are saying that given our cultural values in our part of the world, we don't subscribe to this. And it is not a human rights thing. It is an individual's preference. And so as a community and as a society, Ghana doesn't accept that. And we want the Western countries to respect our preference, our value systems. We are inclusive. But there are things in our inclusivity we want to stand against.
General Secretary of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, Apostle Emmanuel Ni Okule Tete.
You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana blames citizen apathy on local government elections on stakeholders. We'll bring you the details shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Get ready to witness a remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This is Ghana Exhibition 2023. Citi TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. Join us at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly on the 26th and the 27th of August 2023 at 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. Call us now on 0205 973 973 for inquiries on how to participate.
The This is Ghana exhibition is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM and proudly sponsored by MTN Momo, Nalo Solutions, Pan-African Savings and Loans, and SMV Ghana.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. The National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, NALAG, has voiced its concerns over the lack of enthusiasm shown by citizens towards the local governance electoral process in the country. According to NALAG, this challenge of apathy should be attributed to all stakeholders involved. The local government elections have encountered several difficulties, including issues of underrepresentation of women, persons with disabilities, and youth. Additionally, voter participation in these elections has been notably low. Speaking to Citi News, the General Secretary of the Association, Kukra Mankwa, says the collective responsibility for addressing this issue lies with all stakeholders and efforts are needed to increase public awareness.
Today, as we speak, people are more concerned about next year's presidential and parliamentary elections more than district level elections. And we have to attach importance to local governance. Those who even filed for nomination in 2014 to contest district level elections, some of them got fed up. And even when it got to 2015 March, for them to refile again, they didn't. So Electoral Commission will have the portion of the blame. But I want all of us to understand that all of us, we don't put much importance to the local government system. What activities have Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, steps have they taken visibly to sensitize, let people create the awareness that we are going to have elections? What role have NCC played, run down to district level elections, even from now up to December? Don't we think that the time is too short for us to do a proper stakeholders consultation and awareness creation? But go to Electoral Commission's website and check activities for 2024. You may see more even than the elections that is taking place now.
Kokro Amankwa is the General Secretary of the National Association of Local Authority of Ghana.
Onion consumers are expressing worry about the recent significant increase in the prices of the vegetable. This surge in prices has been attributed to the restrictions on the movement of goods and services in neighboring towns due to the political turmoil following the coup in Niger. This situation has disrupted the supply chain and led to a shortage of onions in the market, consequently driving up prices. Citi News' Kweku Ediama Ansa has been speaking to some stakeholders in the value chain.
So about a week ago, we brought you a report on the impact of the Niger coup on businesses of importers of onions here in Ghana. And during that particular report, the importers raised concerns that most of their trucks that were coming from Niger into Ghana with loads of onions to be sold to their prospective customers had been stranded. And this is because neighboring towns had closed their borders to these truck drivers. And so a lot of these goods were perishing as of that time. One of the customers informed us about how over 45 of his trucks had been stranded in neighboring Benin, and that's because the border there had been closed. He then called on the authorities to step into this particular situation and find ways of resolving the matter. However, a week after, the situation persists, and this is having a rippling effect on customers in the downstream. Today, we have come to town and we will be assessing the impact of this particular situation on onion consumers here in Ghana. So this is the Agboboloshi market. This used to be the onion hub here in the Greater Accra region until recently that the Greater Accra Regional Minister relocated these people from here to Ajin Kotoku Market. And so, well, you can still say that there are some traders who still ply their trade here. They sell onions here, and that's what you see right on the side here. And so all these onions, we understand, not all of them are from Niger here, but let's speak to the in charge here and find out how dire the situation has been for their business over the period. Let me speak to this gentleman here. Hi, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
So we've heard of the issue of the border closure, which is affecting the goods that you used to get from Niger. When was the last time you received stock from Niger?
Like last week.
And how many bags? Was it plenty?
No.
It was very...
The car came to Kotokuba. I got only like 15 sacks.
On a regular time, how many sacks would you have bought? Like if we didn't have this challenge, how many sacks would you buy?
Oh, I can bring the 15, maybe 2 days time, I'll go and bring it again. Understand? Because here it's not big like that. Used to come and put plenty here.
But after buying the 15, you've not been able to buy more from them?
Some was not there. So right now we are waiting, or they can do something for them to come now.
How is business generally? How is business? Do people buy?
People buy one. But mostly maybe customers. You already have those you give goods. You see, maybe Monday or Thursday they'll come and take it. But one. Those passing by one, they came in.
What are some of the concerns that they say is making it difficult for them to buy?
Because they will be shocked. If you come, maybe somebody will come and buy the big sack. Maybe last week ago, maybe it was 1,000. You come one week time, they'll say 1,004, 1,005. It's too much.
Is it expensive? Is it expensive now?
She talked a lot.
Is it expensive now? Like, how much did you used to buy it, and how much are you buying it now?
It has tripled itself.
Tripled?
Triple, I'm telling you.
Just for a month or a week? Like, how long?
Me?
Not even up to a month.
Not even. Let me say a month.
Wow, and it's tripled?
Tripled, yeah.
Would you say that is depleting your finances? Because it means that you need to cough out more now if you want to get the same quantity.
Of course. But you have to eat. What do? You have to buy.
Are you using it for your home? Like, is it just for domestic purposes?
Yeah. But I come to market every monthly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how much are you buying today, or how much were you even expecting to buy with the money you brought to the market, and how many?
All my money that I'm.
Oh.
I use all the money that I'm using for different things.
So another trader of onions is also feeling the pinch of the Niger coup on his business. Let me quickly speak to him. When was the last time you took stock of the Niger onions?
It's like last week.
And since that time, you've not got it?
No. We don't get the Niger one because of the border where they close. So it's very hard for us to get the Niger one. But at least we are getting Nigeria one. It's helping us small. And the one way they grow it here in Ghana. So that one is giving us some feet small.
But even the one you got last week, the Niger one, did it come with a higher price because of the situation? Did it increase?
No. They didn't increase it. But it's not because of even.
But looking at the current situation, I mean, we're not getting one from Niger and all of that. Do you think that it's time that we do our own well, get more people to cultivate homegrown onions?
Of course. Governments to help us to do this kind of things. Because if, like say, governments are plan of this kind of onions thing doesn't go to the government projects. You understand? It's not like cocoa and other things, but it's a very important thing to governments to stay on it, to give people chance to, sow it or so whatever. We should put more investment, because now that they close the border, when there is onions, that Niger one is not coming. Okay, when the Niger one finish, the Nigeria one finish, what are we going to eat in Ghana?
So here are today at Boboloshi Market, very few traders of onions have the one from Niger. And so for them, they have priced their goods at very higher prices, and that is being witnessed. In a related development, stakeholders in the rice sector fear that the ban by India on export will impact negatively on the consumption of rice in Ghana. We've been speaking to one of the stakeholders who says that Ghana must take it upon itself to invest more in the sector to bridge the gap
globally. India exports about 40% of the rice grain across the globe. And they are saying they are putting a total ban on exports. So it means that there's going to be an immediate shortage of 40% in the export program. Funding cannot be done by the private sector alone because it takes some heavy funding. What we need to do is to get the leadership interested enough to say we are putting X amount of money down. We want to bring into the system 1 million metric tons of milled rice. 1 million metric tons of milled rice. What is the value? That's about 6 billion Ghana cedi. Top of my head. So if the government invest about $1 million in rice production along the value chain, overnight, within 150 days, we will see the results. And then that money will be paid back plus interest.
Kuku Mansa filed that report.
4 additional young victims have come forward, providing harrowing accounts of their experiences in the defilement trial before the Wa Circuit Court. The disturbing revelations unfolded at the court on Wednesday, where the 4 underage girls testified against the 35-year-old man accused of being a pedophile. The accused, Ahmed Rashid, is currently standing trial for defiling and attempting to defile a total of 12 children in Wa. There's more in the following report by City News' Latif Mahama.
Among the new witnesses, one particularly heart-wrenching detail emerged. A niece of the accused, Ahmed Rashid, bravely recounted her ordeal on the stand. As in previous hearings, Wednesday's session was held in camera to protect the identities of the minors involved. The young girls took turns, narrating how 35-year-old Ahmed Rashid, known as Anata, manipulated and coerced them into a series of deeply distressing sexual encounters.
Today we brought in 2 more dockets, and then he pleaded not guilty to the charges that were leveled against him. So we opened our case. 3 girls testified in respect of 1 case. All of them gave out their story of how they had had threesome on numerous occasions with the accused person. In cross-examination, he denied, but all of them stood by their story, and that was how we ended that one. We called the second docket. And
another lady came up. Her testimony was quite graphic. She told the story of how she had multiple relationships with the man, sexual relationship with the man, because the man promised him that he was going to take care of him, take care of her education, and then pay for her school fees, and then give her food. What particularly caught all of us who were in court, what caught our attention was this one that the accused person's niece, as the sister's daughter, also testified against him. And he himself admitted that that was his niece. And the girl, in response to one question, said that you knew very well that I was your daughter and you were having sexual intercourse with me all this while, under the pretext of paying for my mother and my sick twin.
According to Saeed Abdul Shakur, the court was originally slated to hear testimonies from a medical doctor and a police investigator. However, the gravity of the victims' stories prompted a shift in focus towards these emotional accounts when the two gave reasons why they could not be in court.
When we contacted the hospital, the investigator was not, the medical doctor was not in town. He'll be in town on Monday, so we had to adjourn to Tuesday. So Tuesday he'll be available to testify. The investigator too also lost his father and is going to bury the father this weekend. So he too was not available. So he will also be available on Tuesday. All of them will be available on Monday, but out of the abundance of caution, we want to put it on Tuesday so that we can just be sure we have them to testify.
The proceedings were adjourned until Thursday, as more victims are expected to take the stand and share their experiences. This ongoing trial serves as a stark reminder of the importance of addressing and preventing such heinous crimes against minors. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Latif Mahama.
The National Road Safety Authority, NRSA, has expressed its commitment to closely monitor the plans set forth by the Ministries of Energy and Roads aimed at addressing the issue of non-functional street and traffic lights throughout the country. This decision comes as a response to concerns raised by motorists about the significant number of non-operational lights on Ghana's roads, posing a threat to road safety. Speaking to Citi News, PRO of the National Road Safety Authority, Pearl Adusu Setekla, says funds will soon be released by the sector ministries to resolve the problem.
It's under the Ministry of Energy. But we also know that Ministry of Energy contracted a consultant so that they will look at the street light situation and then give them advice on how to put up modern type of street lights by solar or another type. Well, as at last year, they were having that meeting. I will go to them and inquire how far they are. They've gone with consultancy. The Department of Urban Roads called last month. They called us that they've secured some funds from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And so they will soon go into either putting up new traffic lights or repairing the ones that are not functioning. And so that is where we are. Secondly, they said they were owing some contractors who were working on the street lights. So when they called them, they don't come back. Now that they be able to secure funds from their mother ministry, they will pay them so that they will be repairing the ones that can be repaired. And the ones that should be reinstalled, they will look at it and do so very soon.
Madam Adusu Setekla also called on motorists to drive with caution as government works to fix faulty street and traffic lights.
What we advocate for is carefulness on our roads. Attention, pay attention, and don't be reckless on the road. Your life is paramount. Your safety is paramount. So if the system is not working, you have to work for yourself. So drivers have to be very attentive, have to be very cautious on the road, and not to drive as if the road is safe for them. If the road or the system is unable to protect you, you have to protect yourself. So speeding should be looked at. No excessive speeding, because speeding is the lining factor that brings about all crashes, and it impacts on fatality and injury. And then wrongful overtaking be in a hurry to go where you use a few minutes to go. And then people should be very cautious when they are on the road.
Public Relations Officer of the National Road Safety Authority, Pearl Adusu Setekla.
This is still the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM. Still to come, top 10 finalists of Citi FM and Citi TV's Literacy Challenge announced. We'll bring you the details shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Happy birthday to you. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
1xBet jackpot is here with weekly massive prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is place your bets on any sports game and stand a chance to win. Simply register at 1xbet.com.gh. Use promo code JackpotGhana and place your bets. 1xBet is your key to great victories. Feel like a winner. 1xBet. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. 24,800 teachers who sat for promotion exams this year have failed. This was contained in a statement issued by the Ghana Education Service today. The promotion test was held in February this year for various teaching grades in the service. Out of the 80,810 candidates who took the test, 55,917 candidates, representing 69%, were successful. For the Deputy Director grade 4, 655 out of over 8,000 candidates passed. For Assistant Director 1, 85% of candidates passed. Candidates who sat for promotion to Assistant Director 2 were over 40,000, out of which 24,581 passed. For the Principal Superintendent grade, 74% of candidates passed. The statement further noted that formal promotion letters will be released in due course.
Now, bad parental care, lack of strict supervision by teachers, irresponsibility and peer influence on the part of students have been identified by stakeholders in the educational sector as a contributing factor in the sharp decline of performance of basic school children in the Kwapem South municipality of the Eastern region. In 2019, the municipality recorded a 75.80 performance, which dropped to 42.10% in 2020. It further went down to 54.5% in 2021 and to 53.5% last year. In an interview with City News on the sidelines of the Assembly's mid-year joint stakeholders workshop in Abri, the head of planning at the Kwapem South Municipal Assembly, James Abukre, called on all stakeholders, including parents and traditional leaders, to help address the issue.
What we have come to realize is that the problem is multifaceted. It comes from so many angles. The angle of parents being responsible for educating their kids, and the children themselves not taking education so serious, have all accounted to the sharp decline we are having in the BEC pass rate. And we would say that most of the parents we have do not take the education of their kids serious, in that they do not provide them with the needed logistics that their wards would require in the various schools to learn well. And they do not supervise them very well, because when a child comes from school, it is the duty of the parent to take care of these kids and ensure that their homework, is done they revise their notes. But it will interest you to know that some of the parents will not even care what the child does. Children as young as 8, 9, 10 years, being around 10 p.m., 11 p.m.
James Abogre is the head of planning at the Ikuapem South Municipal Assembly in the Eastern Region.
The Ministry of Education says the introduction of virtual senior high education is to augment existing structures rather than replace them. The ministry explains that the policy which is being deliberated on would provide senior high school candidates the opportunity to acquire education remotely. The spokesperson for the ministry, Kwesi Kwarteng, tells Citi News additional information would be provided upon introduction.
It's novel, but just like we have online studies for master's program, for PhD programs, the Minister for Education, as part of his efforts to reposition Ghana's education to meet the 21st century demands in the area of science, technology, engineering, and math, we want to also reposition and realign ourselves to meet the 21st century educational goals by introducing the virtual SHS, where we can also target even Ghanaians, even who want to school in Ghana. We can also parents who may not necessarily have time for the traditional education. So largely, it's just a way of expanding access while ensuring or that we maintain quality education, etc. So there is an option of offline and online. So it depends on what we subscribe to. But I'm sure the introduction and the rollout will come out with a very detailed and comprehensive rollout plan in terms of the availability of data, in terms of even the offline component. When it rolls out, all those comprehensive guidelines will come with it.
Kwesi Kwarteng is the Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Education.
A public health nutrition specialist, Professor Richmond Aite, says preventing malnutrition among infants and children is achievable if mothers prioritize their nutrition starting from the beginning of pregnancy. He asserts that mothers play a vital role in ensuring proper development for their babies. The following report has the rest of the story.
Professor Richmond Aite underscores that babies rely significantly on their mothers for survival, stressing the importance of maternal nutrition. He asserts that a child's developmental trajectory hinges on the quality of nourishment they receive during the initial 1,000 days of life. In an interview with Citi News during the national ceremony for the first 1,000 Days project, Professor Richmond Aite, a public health specialist from the University of Ghana, emphasized the importance of maternal nutrition during pregnancy.
The main purpose is to improve the eating. I should use eating because that's a simple word to use. Eating properly among children during the first, what we call the first 1,000 days. And then for women in reproductive age. Now, the first 1,000 days is from when a mother becomes pregnant or takes seed until the child becomes 2 years. And this period is really important to make sure that the child is developing well, not only physically, but also in the mind, the brain. And if they do that, they'll be able to build a strong foundation for their lives. Learning in school, being productive, even for the country to be productive in its income and productivity, all those things are important, but it has to be based on a good foundation of feeding.
Priscilla Merrington, the project coordinator for the first 1,000 Days program focusing on improved feeding practices, revealed that her outfit has launched an intensive educational campaign aimed at enhancing maternal nutrition.
As we speak, we have reached more than 13,000 children who have consumed these nutritional supplements. Again, we're to reach 5,520 women of reproductive age with nutrition messaging ranging from 4-star diets, exclusive breastfeeding, complementary feeding, timely introduction of complementary feeding. As we speak, we have reached 8,000 women with this nutrition messaging. However, we have also reached male, females, children, adolescents, over 240,000 people with the nutrition messaging. The project also supplied poultry to our project participants.
Ernestina Abelongo, a mother, urges fellow mothers to adhere to health advice provided by experts.
We don't know what is exclusive breastfeeding and nutrition, but while Wilson came in, they teach us what is exclusive breastfeeding and nutrition. So we go into exclusive breastfeeding. I've practiced and I've seen benefit of it, because since I give birth to my first child, I didn't practice exclusive breastfeeding. But the fourth one, I do exclusive breastfeeding. I see the benefits of it. I don't go to the doctor anyhow. I did not spend much money. I did not use anything like wasting money for buying medicine and all those things. And they teach me how to position the child to breastfeed very well, and the child will relax, and the family will have happy.
Ernestina Abelongo is a mother under the Improved Feeding for First 1,000 Days program, ending that report.
The Ghana Health Service is actively addressing the growing concern of nurses and doctors leaving the country for better opportunities abroad. Over 1,200 Ghanaian nurses registered in the UK last year, and about 150 experienced professionals from Pantine Hospital have also pursued opportunities overseas. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, noted that efforts are underway to recruit additional healthcare professionals to strengthen the domestic workforce and curb the brain drain in the health sector.
In the last 3 years, we have been able to recruit up to about 33,625 new staff to boost our capacity. And so we have moved from 86,000 staff to about 120,000 staff as at half year, June 2023. Definitely we've suffered with the brain drain. By looking at the numbers, in terms of the absolute numbers, we are not affected. We have lost experienced people, we have lost some skilled staff, but we have also put in a system to make sure that in the next 2 years we're able to replace them with further training and recruitment. So in the last 1 year, I think we lost about 525 or so nurses. But of course, currently, despite the 120,000, we are currently having recruitment of additional nurses across the country. We've been able to send doctors to the rural areas, but we want to use the opportunity to encourage communities to put in systems that attract skilled staff to their districts and their communities to offer care.
Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji is the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. Meanwhile, the service says it will soon roll out the network of practice, which would ensure better health service for patients. Director for Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Dr. Alberta Brichum-Nyakun, has been providing further insights on the new model.
It is a new model where we intentionally or deliberately link up already existing health centers, hospitals, facilities, shift zones, maternity homes, and such in specific geographic areas so that they are able to provide better service to the people of the community and by extension all people living in Ghana. So what are the networks of practice? It is a specific arrangement between public, private, faith-based organizations or facilities that provide service delivery to the people in the communities. And we are arranging these networks so that together they are able to provide better services to the clients who patronize their services, reduce unnecessary deaths, and also ensure that we rapidly and appropriately respond to clinical and public health emergencies wherever they happen.
Dr. Alberta Brichum-Nyakun is the Director for Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation at the Ghana Health Service.
The Ghana National Fire Service is warning the general public to desist from placing prank calls to the service or risk prosecution. The service has raised concerns about the increasing rate of prank calls and its impact on firefighting. The Director of Public Relations at the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO1 Timothy Osafo-Afum, tells Citi News that a monitoring system has been instituted to identify persons engaged in prank calls for onward prosecution.
We have deliberately put in place as part of our educational program to incorporate this particular education into all programs that we conduct so that we create the needed and necessary awareness. Perhaps those who are doing this don't know that they are preventing or impeding others' access to the services that we render to the public. And so first is to create this awareness. Then now we have a system that records all the numbers that comes in. So for those who don't know, that we are now able to determine who is calling, they should be aware that now we have a system that records all the numbers that call. And so once we pick your number, we get to the appropriate process, we fish you out and we send you to court. Then whatever the court will say, that will be final.
Director of Public Relations at the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO1, Timothy Osafo Afum.
The final list of the top 10 participants in this year's Citi FM and Citi TV's Literacy Challenge has been unveiled. This announcement signifies the completion of the second stage of the competition, which involved conducting a general knowledge aptitude test in Accra over the weekend. Out of the initial pool of participants, the top 50 individuals whose exceptional essays were shortlisted underwent the aptitude test. The evaluation process was both challenging and crucial as external examiners painstakingly reviewed each script to identify the most outstanding essays. Eventually, the selection was narrowed down to the top 10 finalists. The announcement of the top 10 finalists was made on the Citi Breakfast Show on Citi FM.
You look at the top 10. Highest in the aptitude test, 89%. And then the 10th person had 75%.
Okay.
So very tight, very competitive.
Okay. How many questions in all?
85 questions.
Yeah,
But when, it's usually 100.
85
flat,
questions.
But 85 questions, but some of them have sub-questions. So when you sum it all up, you have 100. So the test's out of 100%.
So who are the top 10?
Okay, here we go. In no particular order. Abba Krejirba Bafo of Also Academy, Winneba.
That's number one.
That's
Number two.
one. Lois Nado Mara Brew of Ridge Church School in Ridge.
Number three.
Miracle Patrick Oscar Manuel, Mary Mother of Good Counsel School, Airport West, Greater Accra.
Number four. Who else?
We have Kusogbo Mawena Erama,
Yeah, it's
Our
not Irama.
Lady of Assumption RC Basic School, Accra.
Powerful. That's number four. Who's number five?
Alice Educhumwa Edu, Labawaleshi Presby Basic 1 School, Accra.
Sounds like a
Greater
public
Accra
school.
Region. It is a public school. Then, Adiel Akosia Ajakoma Safo from D&D Academy, Kumasi, Ashanti Region. I must say that D&D Academy, they're the reigning champions of the Literacy Challenge. So our winner for
The Kumasi people.
2022, yes, they are ready.
That's number six. Number seven.
Nelson Armstrong Jikunu.
What
from
school is
Jaira
this?
International School at Shaman.
Number eight.
Alberta Adekote from Ofako MA Basic DJHS Ofako Central Region.
This is Ofako.
Yes.
Not
Not
Ofanko. Ofako. Charlie, is it near Kaswa? Sounds like.
It's after,
in
you
those
know,
areas.
you're getting there. But we also have Ofanko, and that is Akosia Bempoma Japong, Silicon Valley International School.
Okay. That's in Ofanko. Uh-huh.
Then we have Inshira Nomafo, International School of Ahafo in Ahafo, Kenyasi, Ahafo region.
You heard Head of Programs Production at Citi FM and Citi TV, Apio Koseram Ashong Abe, announcing the top 10 contestants of this year's Literacy Challenge. The top 10 will partake in a quiz competition in level 3 of the challenge. At this level, they shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV, supported by 97.3 Citi FM, and is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company, Ribby Crunchy Biscuits by M4 Foods, SIC Insurance PLC, Perspectives Ghana Limited, Dext Technology, Alive Soap, and Fortune Rice. Many thanks for tuning in. For more news, do log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. My name is Enu Safo.
And I am Caleb Kuda.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News with Ni Latte. Do enjoy your day.
City 90.